Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony Holowitz, and I want to thank you for being here for this podcast. And in this podcast in January of 2021, I want to talk to you about Act software and where it's going this year and where it's been and just what you can expect. Well, there are a lot of longtime Act software users, and those users are used to buying the software once and having it forever. But things and software through time has started to evolve where now, instead of paying for it once, there are now subscription offerings. And with Act Software, they started offering a subscription years ago. Having said that, Act Pro was the standard software that many individual users use. They bought it once, they owned it, they didn't upgrade it, they used it until they felt they needed to upgrade, and that was not always something they did. So some people used it for years and years. But software is changing. Software is now evolving to be workable with other software. And Act Pro, as we know it, went away in June of this past year in 2020. Act stopped selling it. Now, on that note, there are some places you can still purchase it. We personally have copies of it that we can sell to you, but we try to persuade you not to do it. We have supplies that will only be available until they run out, and it's approximately $350. Act subscriptions vary. In October of 2020, they introduced new software. It's subscription-based, or it's called SaaS, Software as a Service. It's really self-service software. And they have plans that range anywhere from $180 a year to $540 a year, depending on your needs. So if you decide, hey, you know what, I want to keep with Act, that is one option. You can also get a subscription and physically install Act software on your computer. It's a yearly subscription, but with that subscription comes some additional benefits. For example, you get a certain degree of technical support for free. So when you have Act issues, you can get some support with it. There's a line there that's sort of hard to describe in a short podcast, but that's an advantage. You also get an app that allows you to have your data on your smartphone or a tablet or some type of device of that nature. If you want to extend that a little bit, we can also host your Act database. Therefore, we act as your server, and we eliminate a lot of expensive IT costs. So I think sometimes when you look at the software on the surface, you say, yeah, it's a subscription. Maybe it's getting a little more expensive, but it's a different animal. What are you getting for that? Instead of a one-time purchase in which you have to do everything unless you pay for support, this comes with some support and is going to grow into other software. It makes it available to you on your devices, like your smartphones, things of that nature. So it's a different piece of software. It's a service. It's things you get. So I ask you not to judge it too harshly and suggest to you that really the reason it's a subscription is Act as a company, well, they have people that work for them. They have to keep the company growing. They have to be able to increase its capabilities, and that's what we're seeing. Let me give you an example of that. Act has the ability to interact with other software. And the most common way you do this is there is a website called Zapier, and you can go to that website and you can get Act to collaborate with other software. Now, I would urge you to take this with a grain of salt because it's just starting. Some of these things that we're going to be doing with our software and getting it to evolve to work with other software is really at the beginning stages, and it's surely not perfect. But when you have software like Act, which is relatively inexpensive software, if we can get it to do 80% of what you're looking for, that's pretty good because no software is going to be perfect. No software is going to do everything you need it to do. So when we look at Act coming into 2021, I ask you to look at it with a little bit of a different mindset, an open mind, and say, wait a minute, if I'm paying a subscription, I know some of my clients hate the thought of paying an annual subscription. It just drives them nuts. But if you're going to do that, change your mindset and say, okay, wait a minute, if I'm paying the subscription, what am I getting for it? What are the benefits here? And how do I make sure to leverage the software so that any money I spend on it comes back to me and my firm and my business and my employees time and time again. Let's make sure it's a profit center and not an expense. And through training, through knowledge gain, I believe truly that you can use Act as a phenomenal piece of software, either to give great customer service or as sales software. So when we look at Act in 2021, be open-minded, ask what Act can do for you, how can you leverage it, how can you do more with it, get a little bit of education, ask some questions. And I've always said, if you have questions, reach out to me, tell me your story, let me try to assist you in making that happen. So in 2021, Act is going to continue to grow, it's going to continue to evolve, and I look forward to working with you in the coming months. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Holowitz. If you have any questions, email me or call me, and I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.